So this game is against a team where I've played for them before, and usually the result is bad and they get dominated. But this one went a little bit differently than what usually happens. Their goalie that was in this game for them was awesome. Like, he was really, really good and had ridiculous flexibility. And like, I haven't seen many guys that play like he does. He's really solid and played somewhere, but I don't know where. But his movement was really good and his splits were really good. He eventually hurt himself in one of the games I played against him by doing the splits over and over again. So that was disappointing. I don't think it was this one, but I'm not sure. We'll see how this one ends up, and I'm going to talk about this glove a little bit because this is one of the last videos you'll see in this. There might be a few more. Like, I played 3 games this night, so I probably wore this in the next game as well, but after that, I stopped using this set a lot, including the glove. And you want to support the channel, and you need a base layer and a protective, kind of supportive base layer that helps protect your growing as well as your hips. Check out the Konekt. This is the Pro 1.0 pant, so this one is not quite as restrictive, and this is kind of tight right here in this X pattern. You might have seen these as Under Armour before, or Bauer for the hockey specific ones. There's also the Core 3.0, which is a lot stiffer, as you can see. Really helps protect my growing and keeping it kind of in place and make sure it doesn't overstretch itself. There's a discount code, and you click the link in the description. Use that discount code to get a discount off, help support myself, as well as get you some pretty awesome base layer pants that really do help with injury prevention and help stabilize your core while playing. Otherwise, if you want to support the channel without buying anything, check out links in the description to Patreon, buy me a coffee. Everything through there comes, again, back into the channel so I can make more content and doing real reviews.
Y'all ready for this? Ball, ball, ball.
So overall, the game was pretty solid from, I think, my end, and my team played pretty good. They generally outplay this team pretty good, but this team did have a couple pretty good chances, and I played pretty solid myself. Going through the goals really quickly, the first goal, I make a nice save on a guy who's pretty shifty. This guy scores all the time on me, and I'm not going to say dominates the league, but when he plays, he always scores. And he's a good player who constantly plays hockey. He might even play hockey more than I do. This was a case where he makes a really shifty shot right away. I make a nice save on it. He comes around the net. I come out to challenge him, but by the time I'm out where I get set, he's still moving to my right. And then he kind of moves kind of where my defenseman is screening me a bit. So I wasn't moving quick enough here. I got planted and when he was still moving, so I shouldn't have. And I kind of was never really square to the puck. I was square to the body. So once he moves over there, I'm screened by my D and I just drop and slide and try to get it with my blocker and I just can't reach for it. I really need to come out on an angle that was not off angle to begin with. And then so I could move into it, but I was just kind of screwed myself up right from the get-go there. And then the second goal was an absolute beautiful tip that was perfectly placed from a guy that, like I said, I play with this team and I was not expecting that. I don't think he was really expecting that as well, but it was absolutely perfect. I probably should have played this slightly differently, but where I am in the net is so I can see around that player, kind of try to be square if the shooter comes out a little bit more. I was in decent positioning, but I just really need to drive more to the glove side so like my shoulder would get that. But even then, I honestly think that might have gone in regardless because it was an absolutely perfect shot and he got that up real quick as well. So I'm just going to give this one off as a really nice goal where sometimes that happens and I'm going to just be okay with it. So onto this glove. This whole set is for sale. If you haven't seen it, check out my Instagram where I have a link to it in the story highlight stuff. This set is for sale. I'm not going to use it anymore. It's been around for a while. I was holding on to it to try to get an Optik 3 review done so I could do a comparison review. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't get a demo set of them to actually do a review of and a comparison review. So it is time to move on from these. This is an enigma of a glove, and this game is a perfect example of it where sometimes I can catch a bunch with it, and then I just can't catch anything. And there was multiple cases of this both times where I caught a bunch in here with this glove and it felt fantastic and I made some really nice glove saves. And then there's others where it hits me straight on and I just can't catch anything. So it's always a little frustrating for me. This glove is a solid glove. It's just I have other ones I prefer. And honestly, it closes well. I can generally catch okay with it. It's just I don't use it enough to get really used to it, and it's slightly different enough that going back and forth through it just kind of screws me up a bit. So can't use it that much. But go check out that set for sale because I'm moving on from it and need to empty some stuff out of here.
You're watching HockeyReviews.ca.